I am here in Korea, and thanks to my crazy sister, she was like, you have to talk to some folks in Korea. And she found Kita.
Yes, here I am.
We met and had the most amazing conversation, and you guys know this is for my tribe, all the people who tune into my Facebook Lives, and some of you who are new. But I wanted to just have a candid conversation about dating in Korea. So here we go. And I think it's fascinating that she came 3 hours, y'all. 3.5.
3.5.
Plus an extra one.
Plus an extra one.
Yeah, 3.5 hours to meet with me, and we just had the most amazing dinner. I feel like we cousins now.
Yes, no, we are.
Yeah.
I've adopted you to my family.
Yeah,
We're family
totally.
now.
She's
So,
totally
hi,
family now. So I just wanted to get you guys an opportunity to meet someone who has moved to a foreign country, who has taken on the dating realm, and in all aspects of that, she's like, I heard some stuff, but I won't give it away. So one of the main things I want you to know is that whatever you want out of life when it comes to relationships, it's gonna get there through dating, and you're gonna learn a lot through dating, whether it is personal, about yourself, or about other people, or even just about what you want. I know so many people who are dating and they learn what they really don't want, which leads them to what they want.
Right.
So with all that said, enough about me. I want to hear more about you and what brought you to Korea. Like, that's just like crazy.
I know, but there were
That's
so
okay.
many factors that brought me here. One, okay, let's talk about the obvious. I wasn't really happy with what I was doing in my previous role. I was there for 7 years. I knew that it was a good job, but it just didn't feel like, this is what I wanted to do. And I just felt so bored and uninspired, and I just felt like, okay, I can't, I don't see myself here for the long run. And then two, I had recently gotten out of a 2.5-year relationship, and that was really just the driving point to be like, there's nothing, I have no kids, I am not married, I don't really like my job, so why not?
Yeah.
It was just really like, why not? There was really no this is one thing. It was just like, well, I'm single, I don't like my job, so bye, America, I'll see y'all on the flip side. That was really just what it was. It was like, nothing's holding me here.
I love the fact that you just decided that you want something different and you did it.
Right.
So tell us about where you are living now in Korea. What's that place like?
Okay, so right now I live in Gangneom, which is, if anyone's familiar, it was where the 2018 Winter Olympics were held. So it's now becoming more of a tourist attraction. So more people are coming. I've seen more and more foreigners slowly start trickling in. But typically speaking, that city in Korea is not diverse. It's very, very much just Korean. And it has been so hard to date within that city because Black women, I think, in Korea are not we're in my experience, we are not looked at as someone that I think Korean men even really want to date.
Wow.
And much less in the city that I'm in, where they don't see a lot of foreigners. So if you do see a Black person, it's not in terms of dating, it may be in terms of just seeing what it's like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I have not dated anyone in my city. I mean, it's very small. I don't want to because it's very small, and I don't want to.
Shit where you eat.
I said, I don't know if I can curse on here.
You can say it.
Okay, I was like, I'm not trying to shit where I eat or sleep because I work 10-15 minutes from here, and everybody knows everybody. There's one bar, possibly two if you want to count that other one that people somewhat go to, but everybody knows everyone, and I'm not trying to have my business in these streets.
Yeah.
And so I just don't date inside my city.
Yeah.
And it's worked for me thus far. I've kept my business away from people that I know, and I've been enjoying dating elsewhere.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that, because I know a lot of women in Los Angeles, because that's where most of my clientele and tribe are. A lot of women in Los Angeles will complain and talk about how horrible it is in Los Angeles, and therefore they haven't dated in forever.
Right.
So you're in a town where your experience is that Black women are not the commodity. There's not really a lot of opportunity for you to date. They're not looking at you as a favorable candidate.
Not even.
So what do you do? Because you told me, you're like, oh, I date.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, that's my kind
Yes,
of woman.
yes.
Like, so what do you do to date in Korea?
I travel a lot. I'm in Seoul right now, and Tasha mentioned it's 3.5 hours from me, and taking these trips is not a thing to me anymore, because I've already realized the city that I'm in is not where I'm meeting anyone, you know, and so I do have to take these longer trips. So I've dated people in Seoul, in Itaewon, I've dated people in Hongdae, and I've also met and dated people in Busan and Daegu, and those are all bigger cities where it's like foreigners are more accepted. If you see maybe a foreigner and a Korean, it's not like looked at like what's happening, you know? And so it's just a lot easier for me to just feel comfortable in dating in these cities. I've mostly dated foreigners here.
Oh, you have? Okay,
I
so
have dated,
so foreigners like from where? Like,
America,
like American?
and South African.
Okay.
And I have dated a few Koreans. 2.
Oh, tell us how that experience was. Okay, so what was your experience in dating the different nationalities, like dating foreigners,
Okay, well,
and then dating Koreans?
American, I think we all
Yeah.
know. Americans, I mean, I don't think I need to go into detail. South African, I honestly don't think there's a big difference between men. They're just men, you know, and I've started to realize that, of course, there are going to be some cultural differences and, of course, language barriers and things like that, but they're really just men at the end of the day. You're going to have some really trash men, and you're going to have some good men, and it doesn't matter if they're American, Korean, or South African, or wherever they're from. It's just, they're people. And I've unfortunately went through some trash, you know, but it wasn't because one person was from Korea or one person was from South Africa. It was just, you're a trash person because you're a trash person. You know, like, that doesn't change. That where you're from doesn't change anything. The only thing I can say is that I think I'm a little bit more weary on dating Korean, because I feel like, because I'm black, it's just like the idea of being with a black woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So meaning fetish.
Yes.
That word I'm not pronouncing
fetish,
right now.
I can't either.
Yeah.
I
So
feel like
that
I'm a
thing
fetish.
that all of you know that we're trying to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
That fetish. I feel like that's what it is, and it's kind of, it turned me off a little bit. Not that that's what they're doing, but that's what I feel.
Yeah.
You know?
It's turned you off, however, it has not stopped you from dating.
Right.
While you were in Korea.
Right.
In a place that most likely you would think aren't any candidates.
Right.
That's my whole point here. This woman from the U.S. moved to Korea in a place that you would think that dating would not be an option, and here she is having her experience. And I want to remind all of you to be very, very open. Now, how do you feel? Now, there was an article about Issarae saying women should date Asian men.
I saw that.
Yeah,
Yes.
and they like dogged her for that.
I
love Issarae. I love what
Issa
she was
too.
saying.
I love Issa
So
too.
how do you feel about what she was saying about you should date Asian men? What do you think? Because they were saying black women and Asian men are the ones who are the most likely to. Yeah.
I respect her opinion. I wouldn't date Asian men just because we're the bottom of the rung.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That I would date him only because I feel this is somebody that I would want to date, not just because I feel like we match on the pole.
Yeah.
Of least wanted.
And that's
you know
real.
what I mean?
Yes. So in dating, what would you say to someone who is in a position that they think that their options are slim? Because I would think you would be textbook for slim options.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, if anyone from the outside looking in, like, "Ooh, sister in Korea," that's like a textbook for slim. I mean, that's not my textbook.
No.
Because
I
I believe in international loving,
Yes.
and I think you can find there's somebody like you wherever you are. But what would you say to someone who feels like, hey, they got slim pickings wherever they are? They could be in Podunk, Indiana, and think, oh my God, there aren't any men here.
I know.
What advice would you give them?
I would say you need to step outside of your own understanding of what you think is available, because I was the exact same way, you know? I was
love
the
hearing
exact
this.
same way. Before I moved here, all my girlfriends were like, well, you gonna, like, good luck, you know, like, you're not gonna find out. And I was thinking the exact same thing, like, well, I mean, I guess I'll be all right for the year. I just gotta count down for the year. But then you get here and it's completely different. What you see in the media, what you see on the news of like what a place is, that's not anything like what I've experienced. Everything that I'm seeing in Korea is something that is completely different than what I came here expecting. Like, I came here thinking like I'm gonna be one of the only black people. I am not gonna meet anybody like me. I'm not gonna be any Koreans that are accepting, and that's completely different. And just give things and people a chance, because it's lit out here. Like it's you will be fine. I promise you. You will find people, and if you gotta go outside of your city like I do, I mean, just go out your city. You'll be fine. You'll find someone if you want to. If that's what you want. If you just want a fling, they're here. If you want someone serious, they're here.
Yeah. You just have to decide what it is that you want.
Yeah.
You got to know what you want. That's one thing I'm always saying.
Yeah.
What do you want? So is there anything else you would like to tell women, strong women? I usually coach alpha females.
Right.
The alpha female who's out there dating, because we know you alpha girl. We had a little bonding as alphas.
Which is weird to hear that, because I never really thought of myself as an alpha female.
Do you, like, after dinner, were you thinking that, or were you thinking, no, you keep that alpha stuff yourself? What were your thoughts?
I think during dinner, I'm able to accept, yes, to a lot of people, I may be an alpha. To myself, I'm just myself. I don't still label myself as an alpha woman. I'm just who I am. I can see how people can be like, yeah, Shakita she be doing the most.
But that's not the most. Like, alpha's not the most. It's not the most.
I'm sorry.
No, but I think that a lot of people, that's something to talk about. That's real talk, you guys.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are wondering, like, oh my gosh, what is alpha, or am I an alpha? I think what's happened is a lot of times they'll label the doing the most as alpha, or the person who's being bossy as alpha.
Yeah.
But it's really the woman who's strong, who can do things on her own. Most of the time she's overcome a lot. So therefore, if you put her in any situation, even if she thinks she can't handle it, she's gonna be the one who handles it. Alpha is that person that some people might have said, oh, you're very opinionated, or your personality is really strong. So that's something that I do want to talk about. But everyone, like you said, you didn't necessarily identify yourself as alpha. So I don't want to throw that on everybody. You might not identify yourself as alpha, so do recognize that.
Right.
But in the sense of just who you are, what advice would you give to women who may be in that same situation?
I would give, because I was mentioning to Tasha, I'm still figuring out my power, like understanding the power that I have as a woman and as a black woman. And I would give women, I think, the advice to accept all that you are. Because for me, I tried to downplay a lot of parts of who I was. You know, like I showed this to someone, or I showed that to someone, but I wasn't showing the same thing to everyone. It was just like I was kind of becoming the person I think this person would like, and becoming the person I think this person would like. And if they ever met, it would be like, ooh, who do I be? Or who can I be now that these two people are here, and I've showed both of them two different types of me.
Yeah.
And it became so exhausting. I was so drained in trying to be so many different versions of myself. I think now that I'm starting to finally be me across the board, I don't care who it is that I'm meeting. I don't care if you are the CEO or if you're just somebody I met on the street. I am just my complete, authentic self at all times.
That's real.
And I think that is what I would tell to women, or alpha women, or just women in general. You know, just be comfortable with being yourself at all times. Don't put on a show, because you can't hold that up. You can only keep that going for so long. And I kept that going for years, and it really brought me to a very dark place of pretending. And then once I was at the bottom of where or at least my bottom, I had to rebuild and figure out, okay, I gotta strip myself of all these masks I've been putting on. And so it's now like feeling so great to just be me.
How did you get to that space? Like, I believe in the dating process of being like threefold. You date, you know, you date yourself, you date romantically in a relationship, and then of course you continue to date when you're married. But what brought you to the space of being that authentic you, like getting to know yourself? What did you do to do that, to get to that space?
I think my breakup was one of the things that really brought me there. I was dating a guy for 2.5 years. Great guy, won't speak badly on him, but things just didn't work. And I had lost so much of myself in that relationship. And once I finally was out of the relationship and I was no longer someone, I had to now figure out, who am I? And that's what it was. I can no longer just be content with being ex's girlfriend. And so it was just like, okay, shit, I gotta be now Keita. Who is Keita? Gotta figure that out. And then I was moving to Korea, so now I really had to figure it out because I don't have anyone here. You know, I'm solo dolo. I don't have friends. I've met friends along the way, but I didn't have family here. And so now it was really just all the time I needed to focus was just on me. And that was really the breaking point, was that relationship and the move here.
Oh, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Thank you for reaching out to me.
I
Shout
love
out to
it.
your sister.
Shout out to Oriana, making it happen.
Thank you.
All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow, that wasn't even rehearsed.
I know.
Knew I needed to come here. I didn't know why. Like, it was a 3.5 hour bus ride, but I just knew I had to come here and have this conversation with her. And it's women like her that like tell or help or coach women like me to just be their authentic selves and to live their life on their terms. So it's amazing to see a black woman that's in Korea doing what she loves and inspiring someone like me to be me and to help me realize, like, this is very much doable. You can do what you love and be your own boss and run shit and be in love and be in love with the right person.